gonna tell y'all why I don't like relationship goals, and I'm gonna tell you my absolute favorite book, so you want to stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I hope this message helps you conquer life with courageous love. Say something in the comments, share, and subscribe. I am going to talk to y'all about 10 of the books that absolutely changed my life, that every Christian woman should read, according to my opinion. All right, so the first book up is 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue. Now, I won't do these books in any kind of order, but I had to start with this one. Let me tell you why, okay? 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue. If you know me, I always say life and death is in the power of your tongue, as we know straight from the Bible. But honey, prior to this book, I was doing nothing but speaking death, causing death, killing myself, everybody around me, everybody in my circle of influence, dreams, aspirations, everything, y'all. I had a mouth of negativity. I never thought I would be delivered from setting people straight verbally. And reading this book, lastly, I'll say, just brought to my attention that literally, life and death is in the power of my tongue. And I do possess the power to control what this little bitty muscle, or like this little bitty tongue, but this very powerful muscle has the ability to do in my life, corrupting my life. And so reading this just changed my heart toward God. It changed my tongue. You can conquer that tongue, boo. You ain't got to cuss everybody out. You ain't got to cuss nobody out. Because I ain't got to cuss nobody out. I don't. For what? But since I'm already talking about the tongue, then I'm just going to go ahead and stick here with my boy, Joel Osteen. It's the power of I am. And it just goes back to the importance of speaking life over every single thing that transpires, before it transpires, over every thought. I love when he says, you know, what does God want to be true for you? What is it? Write it down. You know he wants you to have peace. He wants you to have joy. He wants you to have wholeness. You know that. What else has he told you personally? Write it down and start to speak life over it. Period. So yes, speaking life all about it. Like this will turn your life, your situation around, because it is anchored in the word of the Lord. This book, lifelong love affair. Obsessed with it. I'm gonna give a couple of books for my married folks out there, or those who God has put in your heart that you are to be a wife. I'm gonna give you some books. All right, this one, honey, yes, love it, because it's so real about the difficulty of marriage. Great marriages don't just happen. And then he talks about how the whole soulmate thing is a myth. It is a myth. Specifically, what I love is that he says that, you know, we're marriages with two different people with different dreams, different aspirations, different perspectives, different goals, different thoughts, different desires coming together to be one. He says that it is a recipe for conflict. And so hearing that earlier on in my marriage, and we still early, we about to be 7 years, but early on in my marriage was just so life-changing for me, because we paint marriage to be some fairy tale, and it's not that. It's not that, honey. So when you realize that it's not a fairy tale, you start second guessing, well, should I be married to this person? Is this right? What's this in God's will? And it's like, no. It's normal. It's normal. You just got to work through yourself. Here we go. Becoming a Couple of Destiny. This is my pastor and my first lady, and I love them both so much. So this is why I love this book, okay? First of all, Sean and I met right after Thanksgiving, and so that Christmas, our first Christmas together, we each gave each other a copy of this book, and in the back is a letter that we wrote to one another. And so I just love that and think it's absolutely sweet. Personally, what I love about this book is that it really gives you a picture of what courtship should be like, and marriage and all that. But I think we don't have clarity around courtship and what it needs to be. And so reading this was like, oh yes, this is what my boo was doing. This is what this meant. This is how we operate. This is what it should look like, or can look like. There's not one right formula, but there are some things that need to be a part of it no matter what. So love that, and just getting to know one another and building a relationship, and becoming a part of each other's lives. Love it. In both of these books, there are questions at the end of the chapters that are so enriching, that create such beautiful conversations for you and your partner to have, or you and your girlfriends if you are in a single season and you're trying to figure out what this needs to look like, what it sounds like. All right. Since we're talking to the married folks, this next book, you know, everybody knows it, The Power of Praying Wife. Love this book because it just helps you to be intentional in your prayers. And like some prayers I'll go back to from time to time, just depending on the season. But reading through, it just gave me so much confidence because I'm like, oh, my boo covered. I got my man covered. He's covered over there. I ain't got nothing to worry about because my boo has been covered in prayer. Love it. Get intentional about your prayer life. Here for you. So if you watched my tithing testimony, you know I was a hot mess, and I'll link it up here. Hot mess when it comes to money. And like, I still got struggles. You know, I grew up in poverty, like generational poverty. So, you know, a lot to learn. New to the scene, new to the game. But my boy, Uncle Dave, as we call him in our house, Dave Ramsey, and his book, The Total Money Makeover, has really been instrumental in my life. Just get your finance together. God wants you to be the lender, not the borrower. He wants you to be debt free. And what I love, I grew up with aspirations of being financially stable. That is a lie of the enemy. I don't want to be financially stable, okay? I had it all chopped and screwed. I want to be financially free. And don't nothing set you free but the truth. So, and his truth. So that's why I love this book, and it is for Christian women. Get into it. Love it. All right. So I didn't feel like I had enough women on this list, specifically women of color. Another reason why I had to include our first lady on this list. Because of that, and because this is really a good book that, you know, impacted my life, we have Faithing It by Cora Coleman. And it helped me to think about the hard places in my life and how I can have faith in those areas, and how Romans 8:28 really is true. Everything does work together for the good of those who love God. It's just a book that helps you grow in your faith, and you become impervious once you get your faith together. You know, you have your moments, because I have my moments. Ooh, I have my moments. But then I remember, let me faith it. Why am I tripping? Jesus is coming back. I have nothing tripping. It's my boy, T.D. Jakes. You know, I have his daughter on the list, and I can't have a list of books or of preachers without mentioning T.D. Jakes. Y'all, love about crushing is because it is all about the pain in our lives, which we all go through pain. But this book provided hope for that, through that. And it talks about, essentially he gives this beautiful metaphor, because y'all know he comes through with the metaphors, but he gives this beautiful metaphor of what it, how, you know, we, as believers, we focus on the fruit. But what if God is trying to do something beyond the fruit? What if it's not just about the fruit? But, you know, so we look at grapes, and grapes, that's the fruit. But then God crushes the grapes and he turns it into wine. And that is like through the crushing that you reach your real purpose. I mean, come through somebody. But this, the way he puts it, you know, nobody can put stuff the way T.D. Jakes put things. So I did not just give his metaphor I didn't give it the credit, the power that it needs. You just need to go read this book and all the other books. Let's get into my absolute favorite book. It is by my girl. If you know her, if you know me, if you know me, I love her. I heart her. Okay, this book is my favorite of hers and my all-time favorite Christian book, because in general, she just has the ability to take every emotion that I'm feeling and put it in the most beautiful words. But so that's in general. This particular book is all about rejection. Now, I bought the book because I'm like, I love Lisa TerKeurst. It's going to be a great book because she's a great writer. Hello, and a great Bible teacher. But But I'm like uninvited. I don't deal with feelings of rejection. I had all these thoughts about the title, but I was gonna read it anyway because my girl wrote it. So there we go. However, reading it was like, oh yeah, I struggle. I struggle in this area. It's all about rejection and how Satan wants us to feel rejected so that we don't operate from a place of God loves us. God says we are worthy. God created us in his image. God is crazy in love with us. We are his favorite children. Like, you need to read this book. Read this book. All right, so those are my 9. They've changed my life. And let me tell you why I'm not feeling this. Okay. Let me just say it, okay? This is an amazing book. This is a really good book. I have told all my single friends, all the single ladies, read this book. Go get this book. But your girl didn't like it because I read it in like a day, maybe 2 at the most. I couldn't put it down. And I couldn't put it down because I just wanted to hurry up and like get to the part that was applicable to me. And I wanted to get over all the negative feelings that I was feeling as I was reading it. Because like I was being petty. It's a great book. Every single person should read this book. But I'm like, Michael Todd. Pastor Todd, I'm already married, boo. I'm already married. I did this wrong. I did it wrong in terms, I was, so my husband and I got engaged. Shortly thereafter, we became pregnant with the twins. Then we got married shortly thereafter. So, I wasn't doing what was in this book. So it just I had to sit in my sin. Not that God wanted me to, but I had to revisit some things and realize that, it was a sin, and I had to ask for forgiveness in areas that I thought I had moved on. So, I didn't like the book because, me, and anytime that you hating on something, there's some sin. And I'm not hating on it because I promote it, but let's just say, anytime you hating on something, there's some sin in you, in your heart. So let's check that. And that's just what I had to do. I unfortunately didn't have this wonderful resource, but you do get to have this resource. And there is for the married folks. I got married friends who love it. There is a chapter, like he and his wife write a chapter together, which is so beautiful, and it's helpful and applicable. I just had to work through all my stuff, through all the previous chapters, and it was too much for me. It was too much, right? That you grab one of these books and they change your life, they change your trajectory, they change your mind so that you then can change your heart and call on the Holy Spirit to help you change your heart and turn it toward Jesus. I do. Also, I hope that one day my book is on somebody's list of 10, at least my own and my mama's. But yeah, go grab these books. Also, y'all, I love to read. So hop in the comments. Let me know what books that you've enjoyed. I'm a nonfiction girl. So, nonfiction, preferably Christian. So let me know what have been some books that have impacted you that you just love. I will go get them and we can talk about it because I love to read, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming and watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button and that you like this and that you share this for your reader friends or your book club friends who are interested in reading books. Some of these books, then yeah, do that. If you got more questions about any of these and you want like my in-depth opinion of them, let me know. I will let you know. You can follow me on Instagram at Yasmine_Williams Woods. And all right, y'all, that's all I got. Bye.